Dubai villa prices in 2026 are still climbing in the right communities. But the market is no longer rewarding every villa equally. Quality communities are outrunning weaker ones, and that changes how smart buyers and landlords should move right now. If you want Astra Terra Properties to help you compare villa communities, shortlist stronger family locations, or assess whether a villa still deserves to be held, message us on WhatsApp early. In a more selective market, the wrong villa story gets expensive faster. Welcome to Astra Terra Properties. In this video, I am breaking down Dubai villa prices 2026, why better communities are still holding pricing power, what the latest data is actually saying, and how serious buyers should separate resilient villas from average stock before they commit capital. Let's start with a mistake many people still make. They hear that villa prices are strong, and they assume any villa in any community is protected. That is not how this market works now. Buyers are becoming more selective. They're looking harder at community design, school access, road connectivity, maintenance exposure, service charge logic, resale depth, and whether the next buyer will also want the same property. That is why this week's data matters. Gulf News reported that Dubai's residential market recorded around 139.1 billion dirhams in Q1 2026 sales across roughly 44,200 residential transactions, with off-plan accounting for about 73% of deals. The same report said average residential prices reached around 1,683 dirhams per square foot, up about 9.6% year-on-year, while rent growth slowed to roughly 10.2% year-on-year. So the broad market is still growing, but the pace is cooling. Then Khaleej Times added another important signal. Dubai's official 2025 price index still showed villas as the best-performing residential segment, with villa prices up around 14.83% year-on-year versus 7.38% for apartments and 9.81% for the overall residential market. And then the National framed the behavioral shift correctly. This is becoming a more selective market. That means buyers and landlords should stop asking whether the market feels strong in general and start asking whether the specific asset is strong enough to hold its position in a tighter decision environment. That is the real story behind Dubai villa prices 2026. Broad momentum is cooling, but quality communities are still outrunning the market. Why does that happen? Because villas are often driven by actual family need, not just short-term speculation. Families want space, privacy, parking, usable layouts, schools, parks, and a community they can live in. That kind of demand behaves differently from a speculative off-plan apartment rush. So when I look for villa resilience, I focus first on real family demand, usable community design, manageable service charge exposure, and enough transaction depth that resale does not depend on one lucky buyer. If a community has those ingredients, pricing can stay firmer, even when the broader market gets harder. Take Dubai Hills estate. It still behaves like a benchmark because it combines a premium master-planned environment, road connectivity, schools, mall infrastructure, and a wide buyer base spanning both end users and investors. In a more selective market, that matters. Better ecosystems keep villas more liquid. Then you have the Springs and the Emirates living style of resale logic. This is a different kind of strength. It is not only about premium branding. It is about proven demand, established community infrastructure, visible resale history, and a product people already understand. Mature communities can become more attractive when buyers want less story and more evidence. Then look at Furjan and Dubai South. Gulf News highlighted both among the most active ready villa locations in Q1 2026, alongside the Valley and DAMAC Hills too. These are practical family and suburban expansion plays. They are not all equal, but they do show something important. Space-led family demand is still real, especially where the entry point makes sense. That does not mean chase every suburban villa blindly. It means understand why demand exists. If the product offers real livability and practical access at a lower ticket, it can stay firm even if headline growth slows. DAMAC Hills, too, is especially useful as a lesson. It led ready villa sales with 230 transactions in Q1 2026. That confirms value-led demand is still active. But volume is not the same as quality. Some units will work because the value equation is compelling. Others will carry weaker microlocation, longer commute pain, or thinner exit depth. So buyers still need to inspect the exact asset, not just the community headline. What about the top end? Prime villas are still active too. Gulf News reported that homes priced between 20 million and 50 million dirhams generated around 740 transactions worth 28.2 billion dirhams in Q1 2026, while homes above 50 million dirhams generated about 10.2 billion dirhams across 100 transactions. That tells us luxury demand has not disappeared just because the broader market is becoming more balanced. But again, selectivity is the rule. Even luxury buyers are paying closer attention to layout quality, community depth, school access, waterfront supply risk, and long-term hold logic. Prestige alone is not enough. So what should serious buyers actually do now? I would use 5 filters. First, does the villa solve a real lifestyle problem for families? Second, is the community proven enough that resale is broad, not fragile? Third, are service charges and maintenance exposure reasonable? Fourth, is the microlocation practical for schools, roads, and daily life? Fifth, if price growth slowed further, would you still feel good owning it? That last question matters most. In a cooling market, the best villa buys are the ones you would still respect even without hype. Slower growth can actually help disciplined buyers because it gives them more time to compare options, negotiate flaws, and avoid paying peak emotion for average stock. So my view is simple. Dubai villa prices 2026 are still resilient, but this is now a stock picker's market for villas. The right communities can still hold power. The wrong micromarket can quietly expose lazy buying decisions. If you want Astra Terra Properties to help you compare Dubai Hills, the Springs, Furjan, Dubai South, the Valley, DAMAC Hills 2, or other villa communities based on budget, family fit, and investment logic, visit astraterra.ae or message us on WhatsApp today. And for your next watch, go to our Ready versus Off Plan guide or our Family Communities Breakdown.